Yeah.
AB is really out there training with GervontaDavis's team, man. That makes a big difference.
Broner has officially joined Tank Davis in training camp ahead of the highly anticipated August rematch, with Lamont adding even more intensity to an already explosive buildup. The rivalry between Davis and Roach is heating up, with both fighters exchanging brutal shots on social media and taking their personal jabs to the next level. Determined not to leave anything to chance this time, Davis has added new coaches, increased his training intensity with tougher sparring partners, and brought Broner into the mix to give himself the ultimate edge. After their controversial draw, Davis is locked in, aiming to make a definitive statement. Roach won't get the spotlight this time.
Recent post is trying to let the world know he's going to be a completely different fighter. And as you see here, he's posting his black Nike boots. Now, technically, we usually say when you have Nike Air Force Ones, the black ones, that means some sort of bad energy. You're going to bring it. It's a thugging thing. And he's showing the Nike boots and saying it's time. He's going underground.
Tank Davis, fully aware of how razor close their first fight was, is pulling out all the stops in training. He's assembled a powerful team, sticking with his longtime trainer, Calvin Ford, while also incorporating fresh perspectives and strategies to sharpen his edge. From enhancing his conditioning program to perfecting his counterpunching, every element of Davis's camp has been dialed up. That also means bringing in sparring partners who are fast, relentless, and stylistically tricky fighters who mimic Roach's unique style to keep Tank on his toes and constantly evolving. With Adrien Broner now in the picture, Davis gains more than just a sparring partner, he gains a mentor. Broner knows what it's like to be under the bright lights of the sport's biggest stages. He's been through the wars and understands the mental pressure that comes with it. Broner's presence isn't just about physical preparation. He's reinforcing the psychological toughness Tank needs to stay locked in. Their training sessions, held in West Palm Beach, are being overseen by coach Kevin Cunningham, who's managing the chemistry between the two fiery fighters. For Tank, it's a return to high-stakes intensity, and that might be exactly what he needs to dominate.
Do everything, but I think Tank can pull off the victory.
Do you think Tank has more to prove because of what everybody was saying about him, that he did take the knee, that it should have been counted as a knockdown, he should have lost that fight? Do you think Tank has more to prove?
No, I don't think he got what to prove. What he proving? He ain't lose.
Good.
Yeah, he ain't lose.
Anything else you got to say to the fans?
Nah.
All right, man. Thank you, Darrell.
Tensions flared just days ago when a fierce online exchange between Davis and Roach erupted on social media. It began with Roach questioning why he had so many critics, venting his frustration publicly. Davis, never one to stay silent, fired back almost immediately with a sharp and threatening message. It can get bad for you, inside and outside. Keep faking. Though vague, the tone was ominous, Tank, making it clear that any mutual respect has completely vanished.
Not what you'd call a heavy-handed fighter, but Jason, if you watch this fight, you will see a guy that's very slick, who's very confident, and this is the dynamic I think all of us did not take enough account into. Tank is from the DC, Baltimore area, as is Lamont Roach. They have sparred together, they've had amateur bouts together, and when I spoke to Lamont, when there were rumors about this bout, he told me flat out, he goes, Steve.
The situation escalated further when a fan jumped into the mix, reminding Davis of his previous bold promises. The fan wrote, "You said that the last time, give that man his 1-0. K." Tank didn't hesitate to respond, snapping back, "He not getting anything. Tell him to come take it." Although that comment was quickly deleted, it revealed just how much emotion and pride are fueling this rematch. Roach, unfazed. Fired back by replying to another one of Davis's tweets. "You still tweeting and deleting like a baby really won't get." The words may have been veiled, but the meaning was direct. Roach is not scared and never has been. Tank, clearly irritated by the constant back and forth, shot off one last tweet before wiping his account clean. The bitterness only grew deeper when Davis snapped in another tweet, "You should have been on that. Instead of calling around for that 250K, what is you waiting on? This bag's bigger. You forgot." Roach simply replied, "What's up with you, little bro?" The tension isn't just showbiz, it runs deep. This is about history, unresolved beef, and Tank's lingering disappointment after their first bout ended in a majority draw. For a fighter used to dominating and putting his opponents away in style, hearing Roach's name still tied to that result stings. And now, the boxing world is paying very close attention.
Is if I don't win convincingly, if I don't knock him out, or if I don't beat it out of him, they not gonna give it to me. Tank know I can't go another 12 again, cause they gonna really say I have been exposed. That's one of the famous words. He's exposed. He exposed them. You know what I mean? That's the everybody say now. So Tank not trying to hear that neither. So Tank gonna be really going there seek and destroy. But Lamont gonna be on the same.
Yo, fans get mad.
Frank Martin, who fought Davis before Roach did, finally broke his silence during a June 9th interview with Fight Hype. Speaking openly, Martin called the first Davis versus Roach bout a truly competitive fight. Roach came out and fought the best fight he could possibly fight, Martin said. He brought his A game. And I feel like Tank went into that fight not underestimating Roach, but more like, we got history. I know what he like.
And I feel like the relationship that they got or they had, as far as coming up together and kind of knowing the same people, working with the same people, it kind of was more of the fight was more of like I feel like so Roach came out and fought his best fight that he could possibly fight, right? Against Tank. He came out with his A game, boom. And I feel like Tank came in that fight not underestimating Roach, but...
Martin also pointed out something critical. While Tank didn't take Roach lightly, there seemed to be a sense of comfort, maybe even complacency that made Davis appear more relaxed than usual. He fought more relaxed and chill, instead of really trying to get him out of there, Martin noted. That version of Davis is rare. Normally, Tank enters the ring with laser focus, reading opponents like a chessboard and pouncing with knockout precision. But against Roach, something was different. The urgency was missing. Maybe the history between them made Davis overconfident. Or maybe Roach's pressure and defiance disrupted Tank's rhythm more than anyone expected.
Do you think he wins that rematch with Lamont Roach?
I don't know, honestly. I really don't know. It's a 50-50 fight. It's a 50-50 fight. I don't know, honestly. I really don't know.
Does a lot of it hinge on Gervonta and like which version he shows up with? And no disrespect to Roach, but you know what I mean.
No, that is disrespect for the Roach, and like y'all fight fans gotta realize that.
When asked about the upcoming rematch, Frank Martin didn't hold back. I think the rematch is going to be a good fight still, but I believe Tank might finish him this time, he said. Even with a knockdown and all that, I feel like Tank is going to turn up in this next one. Martin's comments echo a growing belief in the boxing world. Davis isn't going to repeat the mistakes of their first encounter. The August 16th rematch in Las Vegas isn't just a second shot, TT is a statement. With intensified training, tougher sparring, and veterans like Broner joining his camp, Davis looks determined to ensure there's no doubt left this time.
In front of the packed house. Fight everybody want to see.
Do you think that Lamont can build on what he did rounds 8, round 9, round 10, and so on and so forth?
They ain't seen Lamont told y'all the first time he got a big bag. Y'all ain't seen half of that shit he got.
Okay. If you don't get the GervontaDavis rematch, Shakur Stevenson has said that him and Lamont talk.
But Roach has his own fire fueling him. He remembers doubts the predictions that he wouldn't last with Davis. Instead, he delivered one of the grittiest performances of his career. Now, after proving he can go the distance, he's convinced he can go even further. He believes he can win. That belief bleeds through every tweet, every online jab, every moment he stands his ground. Roach isn't here to play safe. He's here to shake the sport.
Okay, and it was something probably that Lamont and his team already knew because they have a history with GervontaDavis, and some of the things they've talked about to us and whatnot is Gervonta had natural God-given talent. He had natural blazing speed, twitch muscles, and power. Lamont didn't have that God-given talent, but you know where they evened out the stakes because it was such a big difference. Character and backbone. Lamont has a ton of character and backbone. Gervonta has none. So as soon as you push back on GervontaDavis.
So now, both fighters enter this rematch, not just to win, but to silence every lingering doubt. The addition of Adrien Broner to Tank's camp signals just how seriously Team Davis is taking this moment. Nothing is being left to chance. Training is structured, intense, and focused. Broner, who's walked similar paths and faced similar pressures, brings a level of accountability that only a fellow warrior can. Tank isn't training like the favorite. He's training like a man who's been doubted, like someone with something to prove. And that makes him even more dangerous. But don't expect Roach to show up unprepared. He's sharpening his arsenal, increasing his tempo, and breaking down every second of tape from their first battle.
He had no choice but to give Lamont the rematch, based off how close the first fight was and how controversial it was. But I have so many questions heading into this highly anticipated rematch. Can Lamont Roach finish the job and get a W after a controversial scorecards that led to a draw? 2 judges favored the fight being in a draw, 1 favored Tank Davis winning that fight. But it was so controversial because in that 9th round, GervontaDavis willingly took a knee after getting grease in his eyes.
As August 16th approaches, the energy around the fight is becoming electric. Trash talk, deleted tweets, money disputes, and raw pride have taken this bout far beyond boxing. It's turned into a collision of legacies. Even Shakur Stevenson, a top name in the sport, has weighed in and he didn't hold back. He's backing Roach.
How you think one coming up with
I
Tank
hope he
and
don't
Roach?
fight Lamont, actually. Like, I hope he don't get in the ring with him again. Because at the end of the day, if he lose, it's just going to look bad on the fight with me. So, it's going to look like somebody else already did it. I don't know.
You want Tank to knock you out, yo.
I ain't even gonna lie to you.
I heard him say, like, yo, I want to fight Tank, and that's nice, but why do you want Tank to knock you out so bad? Like,
Look, that sound good. That sound real good, but she's too little.
Too little.
I promise you he's too
I like Lamont in the rematch, Stevenson said, doubling down with a warning. If Tank wants to win, he needs to be at 100% Dan Moore. Praise doesn't come easy from Stevenson, especially when someone's facing off against a beast like Davis. But his support for Roach is rooted in what he witnessed in their first fight. He noted how Roach was able to disrupt Davis's rhythm, maintain composure, and expose weaknesses in Tank's timing and decision-making. For Stevenson, that performance wasn't a fluke hit, was a blueprint.
Pick Lamont Roach, giving him a tough fight. What do you
I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left. So he better be on his A game.
Did you think Lamont won the first fight?
154 and fight. I asked 2 questions at the same time. I ain't even shit y'all do that. You really want to move up to 154 after this fight and fight again? Yo, you know, I kind of said 154. I probably was stretching, but I'm stretching 154. But I'll fight him at 147. 147 me and